Let's give you a live look at Bellingham, where people saw some rain earlier today, but look at the scene now. Just watched a boat come in, and now you see one coming out. Drying out pretty well as we get closer to the weekend. Let's get to Mike Everett, check that forecast, and see when the rest of us can do away with these clouds.
Well, you know, the frontal boundaries we were discussing has already passed over Bellingham, seeing some skies clearing there, lots of blue, lots of sunshine. Conversely, here's what downtown Seattle's doing right now. It's still gray and overcast out there. There was some light rain earlier this morning, even right around the noon hour. Now that's starting to clear out, but that frontal boundary has pulled in some very cool air behind it. It's also pulled in some winds that are gusting up from the northeast, getting up to about 20 miles an hour, sustained right now at about 16. Humidity and dew point way up there. And if you're thinking that it's cooler than it was yesterday, you are right, especially in Arlington and Everett, where it's about 7 or 8 degrees cooler than it was at this time yesterday. Out near the coast, it's actually slightly warmer. Now here's the big story going into the weekend. And remember, Seafair is going to be fantastic. We'll get those temperatures into the mid-70s on Friday, which will be fairly pleasant. And then we get those mid-80s on Saturday and Sunday. That heat peaks on Monday, and then we're going to do the whole thing all over again. I've been keeping a really close eye on the winds, especially east of the Cascades today. And we knew this was going to happen. We saw those winds getting up to about 25, 30 miles an hour. But because the flow is onshore, it's not as dry as it has been. So relative humidity is still in a pretty good place. So no red flag warnings in place there, but still fairly gusty for the folks who are in the midst of that firefighting effort. Some great news as we go overnight tonight. Those winds will calm once that frontal boundary moves through and just become a little more normal, a bit gusty out towards the Strait of Juan de Fuca and along the coast. As far as the wildfire smoke, again, that frontal boundary carrying most of that off towards the east and will continue to do that. We've got some fires up in British Columbia that will pull some smoke in near the surface, including on Saturday. So if you are a sensitive breather, just be aware of that and factor that into your plans. As far as the air quality forecast goes, though, lots of green dots. That's exactly what we want to be seeing, literally from the Canadian border all the way down into Oregon. That's some good stuff, and if anything changes, we'll be the first to let you know. Putting the future into motion here, we've just got a little bit more cleanup to do. We've got those overcast skies basically over top of Central and South Sound, and we'll continue to see some light showers that'll push into some of the foothill communities as we go through the rest of the afternoon here. But the later that it gets, the clearer it will become. Some stubborn cloud cover will basically ride that line between Seattle and out towards Hood Canal and even towards the base of the Olympics. But then by later tonight, all that clears out. The second portion of that frontal boundary moves through, and then from there on, high pressure builds in. We're going to clear, we're going to dry, and we're going to warm. Overnight lows, not summery at all. We're going to be taking a look at some temperatures. It'll be in the upper 40s in Shelton and Bremerton, upper 40s out towards Forks as well, but Hoquiam will come in the low 50s. We'll see plenty of low to mid 50s all the way up and down Puget Sound. 54 overnight tonight in Bellingham, slightly cooler down towards the south, 52 in Chehalis, and 50 overnight in Olympia. Temperatures warm nicely on Friday. What a great way to go into the weekend. We'll see some low to mid 70s up north. We'll see some mid 70s from North Bend all the way through to Bremerton, 75 in Seattle and in Paulsbo. Down towards the south, already seeing some warming, upper 70s and lower 80s in Olympia and out towards Shelton. As we take a look off towards the coast, 76 in Forks, 66 in Cannon Beach, and as soon as you head inland, some low to mid 80s. It's going to be warm off towards the east tomorrow, 88 in Tri-Cities, 86 in Walla Walla, and 85 tomorrow in Yakima. 7-day forecast shows some warming just in time for a fantastic summer weekend. Looks like we get into the mid-80s, so warm but not too hot. That heat peaks on Monday, and then we'll dial it back and do the whole thing all over again. Another frontal boundary moves in on Wednesday.